Well, it's Mayhem Mindset Monday, November 14th, 2021. And I wanted to take the opportunity in this video to answer 4 questions that I get via email all of the time by doing just a little Q&A here. I'm gonna throw the questions at you, and then you guys can hear the answers right from me as you take a look at what Mayhem Mindset is and you decide whether or not you want to invest in that process for your life. So let's jump into that. Question number 1, the idea of finding my purpose or my why is daunting. How do I get started? So many of us in the culture think this idea of purpose or finding purpose or your why is an elusive theme, and that it's going to be really hard to discover or find. And so number 1, I know for sure in my life that wasn't the case. I don't believe at all that there's finding or discovering purpose. I believe that the clues to this idea of purpose start with you defining your own life. And I think it's your responsibility, and each one of our responsibilities as individuals, to go back and do this work. So finding purpose, discovering your why starts with you looking at yourself, your heart, and comparing it to other people's hearts, comparing it to what's going on in society and in our culture, comparing it to other men and women, and thinking about what it is you've been taught, and really doing a little bit of work to choose what that means to you as an individual first. So defining your heart and then working out to the things that you believe you should be doing in your life. I want you to think about purpose as something specific to you. It's unique to you as an individual. It starts in your design. It comes from the essence of who you are. So the Mayhem Mindset course is simply a process you can use to start to establish your idea of your personal identity, and then to get the things that you believe in the most organized into clear guiding principles or core values for you to use to help with your life choices. Doing this work will help you gain a ton of clarity on the idea of what is purpose for your life. Question number 2. At this point in my life, no matter what I seem to do, I never seem to feel right. What do I need to do to feel better about my life? So many of us, the hardest work that we do is continually trying to keep our emotions in check and trying to feel right. And I want to say that's pretty normal, because we all feel first. That's the way our brain functions. But it's important to remember there are so many valuable things in life that we're going to have to do, and that we really want to do, and that we believe in, that are never going to feel good. So doing some work to understand some basic psychology and some basic physiology about how the brain works is important. You're probably not crazy, even though you feel like you're crazy. That's a joke. But once we understand some of that, then it's necessary to do some work to develop some mindset tools so that we can live our lives with emotion and meaning, and not because of emotion and momentum. Listen to what I just said. Live life with emotion and meaning, not because of emotion and momentum. Being in control of your emotions and dialing them up, and then pulling it back when it's important, and then being able to learn how to use momentum instead of it the other way around, simply allowing your emotions and the momentum of life to push you around. Your emotions are always going to be at war with what is valuable in your life. So we've got to learn how to balance emotion with our core values, our beliefs, and reaching our potential as human in any kind of a way, whether it's business, just in our personal lives, or as an athlete, will mean that we get good at controlling our emotions. So stop trying to feel right before you do the work to define yourself. Create some mindset tools. Be able to capture your emotions and move your life forward towards this idea of purpose and meaning in your life. Question number 3. I know I lie to myself and I don't trust myself. Some of my fears seem to freeze me up, and I'm stuck in an unhealthy cycle. What can I do about it? I know many years ago, when I went through the process of defining myself, I found myself in this spot. What came out of my mouth wasn't always full of integrity and wasn't reliable. Nobody that I knew or that knew me would have said I was a liar. But when I began to really take a look at my heart, I realized that there were things that come out of my life that weren't true, and that I had built my life on some half-truths. For me, I discovered that when I did this, I coined the phrase moving the truth, and moving the truth or white lies. And for me, it was, I just wasn't practiced with my words. I hadn't defined myself. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't feel great about what I had accomplished. And even some of those stories that I had told, I even started to believe. So it took a little bit of time and some courage to face that, and then to eliminate the stories that just weren't true that I had been telling myself. And it can be a little deflating when we realize we have to do that work. But here's what I want you to do. Remind yourself that if you're even watching this video, you understand your potential and you want to do this work for your life. And so remember that life's a journey and it's a process, and you can start with defining yourself right now where you're at. There is no arriving. You don't arrive till you're dead. I like to say that you can rest when you're dead. That recovery and rest are two very different things. So life's a journey, and you were created to come forward, and you can do that. And the Mayhem Mindset game, or the Mayhem Mindset process, is one where you can start to do this work. Start with something you can handle. Experience some success, and then tackle something harder. The Mayhem Mindset course is a guide, and it's a proven process that will help you create some perspective and some tools so that you can start to set yourself free from that unhealthy cycle of fear and mistrust that you have in yourself. Question number 4. I'm interested, but the Mayhem Mindset course is too expensive for me. This happened to me many years ago. A friend of mine came to me, and he called me on the phone, and he said, "Hey man, if I could give you the tools to change your life, will you do what I tell you to do?" And I said, "Yeah." And he told me the name of this weekend seminar I needed to take, and he literally hung up on me. That course, he was just challenging me. This is my best friend, and he's challenging me, and he wanted it to know that it was important. And so it was $500 for that course. And at that point in my life, $500 might as well have been $10,000. But I made the commitment based on his recommendation, and I did some work that did change the course of my entire destiny. So let me flip it. If I could hand you the answers for your life, what would you be willing to pay for those answers? That's an interesting question, because me handing you answers is not possible, and that is not at all what Mayhem Mindset, the course and the process, is. I don't tell you what to believe here. But what we do is give you a process so that you can create those answers for your own life. And so if you could create those answers, then I'm asking you, what would you be willing to pay for that process? It's pretty hard to put a number on freedom. It's pretty hard to put a dollar value on knowing what the right thing to do is and meaning for your life. I learned over the past decade now in working and helping other people that a barrier to entry is important. A barrier to entry is key in moving our lives forward. I've learned the hard way that just because someone needs help doesn't mean they can be helped. And just because someone asks for help doesn't mean that they can be helped. And it's different for each one of us. I've learned that free is not appropriate, and it never really makes a difference unless somebody really steps up and understands that there's a cost or a sacrifice that they have to make. And that's different for each one of us, and we all arrive at that place in our life when we're ready to overcome that barrier and develop those answers. Understand this if that sounds hard. I believe that we're supposed to give and sacrifice for other people without needing anything in return, and I live that. But that's not what the Mayhem Mindset process is designed to do. The Mayhem Mindset course is really the equivalent of a summer college course in its content and its work requirements. It's not for everybody, and it's not intended to be for everybody, and that's okay. But if you've reached a place in your life where it's become necessary for you to decide what you need to do next, then I'm saying stop. Before you decide what to do next, make an investment in your life and do the work to establish your own personal identity, to get your core values organized, and then connect that to a great routine and be able to use this idea of who you are or who you be in this game. That's what we say values, talents, and purpose in your life to set a course and create a vision for your own life. If that's where you're at and you're willing to make that investment, then maybe the Mayhem Mindset course might be right for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Jimmy_Hensel at Instagram. You can DM me there or email me at silver@mayhemmindset.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Keep coming forward.